Hi guys, my name is Paul, aka Simmer in Paradise, and today we are building a base game only family house. Kind of contemporary Scandinavian vibe. I'm really excited for this build. This is the first time since ages that I've really attempted to build a big house. Or at least for my standards, this house is pretty big because I kind of gotten used to I don't know, just furnishing or renovating apartments or like small lots because yeah, let's be honest, smaller lots and yeah, apartments are much easier to furnish and much quicker to build, and I've kind of have had a problem to like with losing motivation on builds and stuff. So yeah, this is kind of a big deal for me. So this video is part one of two videos just because I've still not finished this build. I've been building this since like 2 weeks or something. I already have like 5 hours of footage, and yeah, it's insane. It takes a long time because I really wanted to use a lot of debug items and create custom furniture and decorations. I've seen a lot of people do that on YouTube and Twitter, and yeah, these simmers do an amazing job, and I was so inspired to kind of put my own little twist on it, and that's what I've tried to do with this build. So it's not done yet. Like, I've finished the outside and the ground floor. I'm kind of struggling with the second floor right now because I don't know. It's a big house, and like I said, those builds are always a little hard for me because like it's not even that big if you look at it now, but for me it's big, and I always have problems because I lose motivation or ideas or inspiration, and yeah, I can't really get my head around finishing the build because I don't know, for example, I have like another idea of another build which I desperately want to start building, but I know in my heart that it's I shouldn't do that because I still, oh sorry, I should mute my phone while doing a voiceover. So yeah, I have a lot of other inspiration for builds, but I need to finish this build first, and I knew that if I didn't upload this video in like 2 parts, I would lose even more motivation because, like I said, I already have like 5 hours of footage, but that's like only the recorded part. Of course, I spent several more hours on building the lot without recording, because like using debug items and stuff, it's like really, yeah, time consuming because you can't copy them. You have to place each item individually. People who've worked with debug items know that, I guess, and yeah, so I knew that if I don't upload a first part now, like there's a big chance on me just scrapping the build and the build not ever making it to the surface of YouTube or Twitter. And I really didn't want that to happen because I've done that in the past several times just because I didn't have enough motivation to finish builds and stuff. And it's sad because this build is like a really, like, it really got to my heart. I like it a lot. It's really my style. Like, if I was to build a house, it would probably look kind of similar to this, like this Scandinavian vibe, I guess, with some modern twists and everything. I like it. Like, I thought about this build to be a very modern family home, and yeah, I think it would have been harder to build this if I had access to every pack, because then I would have had so many choices that it had, oh my god, like my English is, wow, is on fire right now. Yeah, it would have been really hard because the choice of items and stuff, like the variety and stuff, it would have been so big. And like this, challenging myself to make it base game only, yeah, it was kind of fun. Like the whole challenge itself was so much fun, to really go through each debug item in the catalog and see what could I do with this. Also, what I did was looking up so much inspiration on the internet, and yeah, just see, like, looking at modern and nicely decorated rooms and thinking like, okay, so I have these debug items. Can I kind of pull this look off with debug items or not? And yeah, I've tried that. I've tried that several times, and I think it worked out a couple times. So I'm very happy with that. I hope you like this build too. Also, this build took so long because I had so many different ideas with the debug items. And yeah, I really had the ideas coming to me, and I guess that was it made it difficult because I wanted to use all of them at once, and in the end I realized that it was all a little much. So yeah, I end up adding stuff to the house, which then in the end I end up deleting again. So yeah, it's a whole back and forth, but I guess that's fine. I hope you can bear with me. Like I said, this is my first big build since ages, and yeah, I just really wanted to get it out there because it means a lot to me, and I didn't want to kind of lose the motivation to keep working on it. So please show this build some love. I would like die if you do that. Like, but in a positive way, of course. Sorry. Let me take a sip of coffee. Yeah. So I guess I've said everything I wanted to say about this build. What I'd like to add is I've seen a lot of people doing base game builds or at least pack limited builds, and yeah, including like different debug items in their builds to make it look more interesting, and that was kind of a motivation for me. And it could be that there's stuff that I've done in this build that others have done before, because I think there's a high possibility in The Sims 4 to happen for that, but I don't think that's a problem. I didn't copy anyone. Like, if I copied anyone, I didn't do it intentionally. I don't think that I haven't really, if I think of it, there's no item or debug creation, whatever, that I did in this build, which kind of resembles anything I've seen before. Maybe a little bit, like those wooden planks I use a lot for the stairs and for the kitchen later. Like, I've seen them a lot in base game builds or like debug builds on the Sims, in the Sims community. But yeah, and even if there's similarities to other Simmers, I guess that's not a problem, because I mean, we are restricted with The Sims 4. We all have the same items to work with, and I think we're a really big creative community, and yeah, stuff like that happens, and I think that's totally fine. I just recently saw, though, on Twitter that there's literally people who are copying builds, like the amazing Kate Emerald posted a build on the gallery which looked amazing, and then Kayla did like post her shell challenge, and someone made an entry for that shell challenge and even made it into Kayla's video where she showcased all of the shell challenges. And later it turned out that the person that got featured in Kayla's video just copied really big parts of the lot from Kate Emerald and then placed their old building next to stuff that originally was by Kate Emerald. So yeah, it was crazy. Like, it was a whole thing. Kayla, of course, I don't know, maybe you even heard of it. I retweeted it on Twitter, and I was so, yeah, I thought it was so insane. Yeah, Kayla even apologized for it, and yeah. I feel sorry for amazing creators like Kate Emerald, because yeah, they obviously put a lot of time and effort into their buildings, especially Kate. Yeah, when you hear me complaining about how detailed this build here is, like my speed build, and how long it took me, I guess that's nothing compared to Kate's build, because I don't know, she's doing it as if it was her day job. Like, she always puts 200% into her builds. It's crazy. If you don't know Kate, You should definitely look her up. Yeah, so is there anything else to say about this build, or can I move into personal stuff? I guess I will move into personal stuff now. So Corona. I've been visiting my family for 1.5 weeks, and once that 1.5 week was over, it was enough. Like, I love my family, but I've just gotten used to live alone, and like, too much. And yeah, I was happy to be able to go back to Berlin and just be a little for myself. Like, uni just started with online classes. Yeah, which is a whole nother thing, because for me it's really hard. I think it's super strange to not have like a professor explain stuff to you, and like, I have all those scripts and documents and sometimes like Zoom meetings with the professors, but it's just not the same. Like, if you're like in the class, practically, like, if there wasn't Corona, like, the professor would see if the class didn't get anything and maybe try to explain it a little differently a second time or even a third time. But yeah, this way it's like you have like one explanation and you have to work with that. And I guess maybe I'm a little small-minded when it comes to that, or I don't know, but yeah, it feels kind of hard for me to do all this e-learning and stuff, so I can't wait to go back to uni and yeah, have everything back to normal. So here you see me, by the way, furnishing the kitchen with the tool mod, and I used the tool mod to create this bench for the kitchen, which in my eyes was a nice idea, but first it wasn't functional. Like, why would it be? But then I, like, later on you'll see me placing teeny tiny bar stools and trying to hide them, and after all it ended up working. So basically, guys, I created a working kitchen bench in The Sims 4, and I'm really proud of myself. Yeah, that reminds me, I've always wanted to start creating CC. It's just I don't have the time and the patience to really learn how to do that. But like, don't you guys have that feeling sometimes when you play The Sims and you're just thinking, oh my god, wait, if this special furniture piece would look a little different or had like a little twist, it would look so amazing. But like, it's never gonna happen because you're not a modder, you don't make CC. So basically you're hopeless if it comes to that. And imagine if you were able to make your own CC, you could like do everything you wanted to. Like, I would love that. And like, now talking about it, it really motivates me again to go back into this whole thing. Like, there's people like Illogical Simmer did a tutorial on YouTube on how to like create custom content, which is so cool. I've watched that like 2 times, but I've never really continued working on my custom content skills, so maybe I'll do that. But yeah, right now I really have to concentrate on uni because it's really hard for me to follow everything. And yeah, so that's why I guess you also won't like get more than 1 video or something a week from me, because I really have to see how this whole uni stuff works out with e-learning. I don't know, like, on one hand, I'm very positive about it because I like how I can organize my day the way I want to. Like, I can stay home all day. I can, I don't know, garden a little bit do gardening on my balcony, or I don't know, redecorate my whole apartment, or I don't know, make like a deep clean, a day for deep cleaning my whole apartment, or all that stuff, like DIYing stuff. Like, I love all that stuff. Or baking. Like, baking has become like a really big passion of mine during quarantine, but I guess I'm definitely not the only one, because I've seen a lot of people on social media talking about that, and like, on that side of you, like, I love this situation that I don't have to go anywhere. Also, I really don't have a problem with not going out. I realized that I'm more of an introvert than I expected to be. Like, I do enjoy my time alone in my flat. Like, I don't have like any issues with that, which is great. But of course, I know there's people who suffer from maybe depression periods or are depressive and depressive. Wait, or are suffering from depression. Yeah, which have a really hard time doing this all on their own. So yeah, thinking of you guys. But for me, like, it's fine. Here you see me, or you saw me, making the bench functional. So like I said, you can do everything you want. Of course, you cannot like just sit on the bench. Like, your sim is not able to do that because you can't really click on the bar stools because they're hidden. But if you make yourself some food, they're going to eat there. If you make them play on the computer, they're going to play on the computer. So yeah, it works totally well. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, I started into gardening. I think that wasn't correct English, but whatever. And it's like fun. Like, my first plants are growing. Like, I've placed some lettuce and some tomatoes and thyme and everything. Like, I placed them in soil, and there's like tiny green plants coming out of the soil already, so I guess that's a good sign. Yeah, and I also repainted my balcony white because it was like a really ugly green color, and now that it's white, I feel like it's so cute. I also wanted to share that on Twitter, but I forgot, so I might do that later. Yeah, so I'm having a great time to kind of play The Sims in real life, if you know what I mean, like redecorating and renovating and stuff. Like, it's so much fun. And I guess because that's one of my passions, I don't know, either it's I love The Sims because I love renovating and decorating in real life, or I love renovating and decorating in real life because I love The Sims. Yeah. So I don't know which one it is, but yeah, I definitely love decorating and building and renovating and all that stuff, and I guess I'm not the only one. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, here you see me adding a great skylight. I'm really happy I did that because the lighting will turn out amazing, as you will see in like 2 minutes. Like, look at that. It's so nice. I am so proud of myself. No, I don't want to sound biased, but I just really love this build, and I'm a little proud of myself because I got around to build this without losing motivation yet. Like I said, I still have the second floor to furnish. I don't know, like, I have like you saw that there's definitely like a floor plan laid out already, but I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna change that because yeah, I'm not really sure if that's the way to go, but yeah, you'll see in the next part what will happen to the second floor. I am excited as well. I don't have any clues on how to furnish them yet, but I definitely want to add like a hobby kind of gym room maybe, and also a guest room, also 2 kids rooms, so, and bathrooms of course. So I will try to fit all of that inside this house. Yeah, I think I've covered everything I wanted to talk about, so if I forgot anything, I will just mention that in the second video, which will probably be coming next week. Maybe this week. No, not this week, because today is Saturday, so yeah, not this week, but next week definitely. I hope you guys had fun listening to me, I don't know, ramble about stuff, I guess, during I'm sorry if this voiceover was a little messed up. It's just because of quarantine and corona, you know, like, I feel like all my brain cells are moving a little bit slower. And yeah, I hope you guys can forgive me. And yeah, I'd say, and you won't get any screenshots this time at the end of the video because it doesn't really make sense because the houses are not really finished yet, and it could be that, like, in the second part of the video I changed some parts of the ground floor or the outside of the house, so yeah, you won't get any screenshots today, I guess, in the end of the video, but next week, in the second part of the video, you will definitely get some beautiful screenshots. Yeah, so without further ado, that was my video for today. I hope you guys are all fine, stay safe and stay home, and yeah, we'll hear from each other in the next one. Bye!